Elections are supposed to be the heart of democracy, right? We go to the polls, cast our votes, and choose our leaders. But, did you know that in 2016, nearly 1 in 5 voters were stopped from casting their vote due to strict voter ID laws and faulty registration systems? Or that in the 2020 US election, only 10 states truly decided the outcome, even though 158 million people voted? Shocking, right? The idea that we're all given a fair shot seems like a myth when you look closer. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden forces that shape elections, like how gerrymandering gives politicians an unfair advantage, or how big money makes our votes feel useless. We'll also explore the rise of social media manipulation and the silent fight to keep certain groups from voting at all. Is it even possible for an election to be fair? Stick around to find out if our democratic system can ever truly work as it was intended. Chapter 1: The Myth of the Perfect Vote. Are we really choosing? When we head to the polls, we like to think our vote matters. But, does it? In 2020, over 158 million Americans voted in the presidential election, yet fewer than 10 states truly decided the outcome. This means the majority of voters didn't really affect the final result. Political scientist Larry Sabato argues that in modern democracies, we are more voters in name only. Our choices are often limited, and our power diluted by systems built to favor the powerful. In many elections, our choices are essentially narrowed down by party control, media influence, and corporate money. As Professor Benjamin Barber put it, democracy is not about voting, it's about participating. And participation doesn't always feel like an equal game. Chapter 2: Redistricting or Rigging. How maps can shape democracy. Ever heard of gerrymandering? It's the practice of drawing voting districts in ways that benefit one political party. In 2018, the US Supreme Court ruled that partisan gerrymandering is a political issue, not a legal one. This leaves politicians free to draw district lines to secure their power. In North Carolina's 2016 election, Republicans won just 53% of the vote, but managed to secure 77% of the state's congressional seats. That's not democracy, that's manipulation. As author Jonathan Mattingly states, gerrymandering is an attack on the very concept of fair representation. With advanced technology, political parties can now create safe districts where the outcome is almost guaranteed before voting even begins. Redistricting has become a game where the rules are rigged from the start. Chapter 3: Money Talks, Votes Walk. The influence of big money in elections. It's no secret that money dominates modern elections. In the 2020 US presidential race, over $14 billion was spent, making it the most expensive election in history. When billionaires and mega-corporations fund campaigns, they have influence over candidates' agendas, often pushing policies that serve their interests. In fact, research shows that, on average, 80% of political donations come from the wealthiest 10% of the population. This means that the top 1% often have more sway than the other 99% combined. Senator Elizabeth Warren once remarked, "If you're not at the table, you're on the menu." Big money doesn't just buy advertisements, it buys power. With unlimited funding, a candidate can reach millions through ads and social media, shaping opinions before voters even step into a polling station. If you're finding this eye-opening, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into politics like this. Chapter 4: Digital Influence. Can social media be the new ballot box? It's 2025, and social media has evolved into one of the most powerful forces in politics. In 2016, Russia's involvement in the US elections through fake social media posts exposed just how vulnerable elections are to manipulation. Algorithms on platforms like Facebook and Twitter push content designed to reinforce our existing beliefs, turning people into political silos. According to data from the Pew Research Center, nearly 70% of US adults get news from social media. But the problem? Only 15% trust that news. In many ways, social media has replaced traditional news outlets, giving power to whoever controls the narrative. Whether it's through micro-targeted ads or viral videos, digital influence now controls the flow of information. In Zeynep Tufekci's words, the internet has not made elections fairer, it has made them more vulnerable. Chapter 5: Voter Suppression. Who's left behind at the polls? Voter suppression is alive and well, especially in swing states. In 2016, more than 1.5 million voters were purged from voting rolls in just 12 states. These purges disproportionately affected black voters, students, and low-income communities. In Georgia, for example, in 2018, more than 340,000 voters were purged from the rolls right before the midterm election. The Brennan Center for Justice reports that more than 17 million voters have been removed from voter rolls over the past decade. Voter ID laws, restricted early voting, and closed polling locations make it harder for marginalized groups to cast a ballot. According to Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece, we cannot have a democracy when certain people are systematically prevented from voting. The unfairness is obvious. Our voting system is rigged to keep the less privileged from having their voices heard. Chapter 6: The Global Perspective. Can other democracies do it better? It's not just the US that faces election fairness issues. Around the world, countries struggle with similar challenges. In India, the world's largest democracy, more than 900 million people are eligible to vote. However, logistical problems, like unreliable voting machines and poorly maintained voter rolls, mean millions of votes aren't counted. In Brazil's 2018 election, candidates used social media to spread fake news and rumors, just like in the US, but countries like Norway offer a glimpse of hope. Norway has high voter participation, transparent voting systems, and strict rules against corruption. In fact, it has one of the highest voter turnouts in the world, around 80%. Political scientist Pippa Norris suggests that trust in the electoral process can be improved with measures like public funding for campaigns, independent election monitoring, and better voter education. So, while fairness might feel out of reach, there are countries proving it can be done. If you're enjoying the discussion, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more insights into global politics.